Hi everyone, this is Cruz. I'll be drafting a Dynasty team tonight in the FFPC. It's a $250 league, it's a Superflex league, and it's a live draft. We get 60 seconds per pick. I don't have a pick until the ninth pick in the second round. I made two pre-draft trades. I traded away, I started in the 5-hole, traded away that pick to AZ Hawks D1. As you can see, he's got two picks in a row. He started in the 4-hole, traded away his 2-9 to go to the 105 and gave me a first round pick for next year. I then proceeded to take that pick, 209, and traded it for the 401 this year and got another first round pick from the team airing it out in the 12-hole. I'm drafting super young here. And likely I'll be drafting what I call the All-22. I wrote about it in an article in Dynasty League Football, but essentially it's just drafting players that are 22 years old and younger. Anyway, Justin Jefferson just went off the board. He was one of my targets at the 2-8. I didn't think he'd make it there, but sometimes he does in these leagues. We got Najee Harris going right after him. DK Metcalf, that would have been a great pick at 208 as well. He's actually my favorite player in fantasy football, my number one overall in most leagues. Obviously not in Superflex, but in a standard non-Superflex league, he normally would be my number one overall. I haven't picked him at all this summer because I've been exclusively drafting this All-22, and DK Metcalf is 23 going on 24 in, I think, December. So it's getting close to my pick. Better cue some players up here. Wow, Jonathan Taylor's still on the board. I've got to seriously consider him, of course. Joe Burrow is 24, so he's old for this and out of my All-22. But if he dropped to me, I think I'd make an exception. Well, there goes Jonathan Taylor. But I still got Joe Burrow. I still have Trey Lance on the board. But are they going? Nope, we've got Dalvin Cook. That is very good. I got to go quick here because I need to come up with other choices. CD Lamb is my go-to sort of default pick here. He's only 22. We've got Antonio Gibson at the 2-5. Wow, it's coming up quick. Justin Fields is an option here in a Superflex. Boy, this is going really well. Usually Justin Fields this late in the summer has been going in the first round in Superflex leagues, at least the ones that I've played in. But this being a live draft, I think people are sort of approaching it differently. So here's the draft board. We're looking at CD Lamb as the default pick. I think he will make it to me, but I'm really looking at Joe Burrow and Trey Lance. Boy, what a call here. If Joe Burrow and Trey Lance make it to me, I shouldn't say that because then it's going to go Joe Burrow and Trey Lance at 2-6 and 2-7. But I've got to make a call between those two. Now in Superflex leagues in the FFPC, quarterbacks are at 1 point per 25 yards, which reduces their...
You are up next.
Justin Fields. Okay. Well, I didn't even cue him up. Or maybe I did and he just disappeared. But
now you are on the clock.
Whew, what happened here? Aaron Rodgers. Oh man, that is an odd pick. It's beneficial to me. But I got Joe Burrow and Trey Lance. You know what? I got to take Joe Burrow here because there is an off chance that Trey Lance will make it to me at 3-5 based on how this draft is going and based on knowing, I think, that the 2-12 and 3-1 are going to go win now because they have Patrick Mahomes. And really the second and third picks, can I see who those are Josh Allen and maybe Justin Herbert takes Trey Lance, but I'm going to go Joe Burrow here. That's almost a no-brainer, except that I have drafted Trey Lance ahead of him in other leagues, but I'm going Joe Burrow here. There's a possibility Trey Lance makes it back to me at 3-5.
15 seconds left.
Oof. First pick of the night for me, and I've already blown my All-22 strategy, so I guess that's out the window. I'm still going to try to stay super young here and probably go 22 and under the rest of the way. So my typical startups in the past have been drafting super young. It's always super young, but usually loading up on first round picks, trying to get 5 or 6 or even more first round picks in the following year after the startup draft or at the startup draft. This year has been a little different. I've been going all 22, and as I found out last year, having too many first round picks limits your ability to take advantage of the current year's rookie class. And this year's rookie class is pretty stellar. Airing it out goes Zach Wilson. Wow. Airing it out had the 2-9 because I had traded him that 2-9 for his 4-1 and his first. So while I'm saddened that Zach Wilson is gone, I usually like to take him. I've been taking him in the early 4th round and then been moving it up as he's done better in the preseason to adjust for the competition. Been moving him up. I was targeting him at the 3-5, but he is now gone. But the good thing about it is he went to the team whose pick I have, and that signals to me that he is not a win now type team. Look at this. He went Najee Harris, Kyle Pitts, then he went Antonio Gibson, and then Zach Wilson. That is a really good dynasty team, but really good news for me because I have their first round pick. Anyway, I'm coming up pretty fast here. Before I forget, wow, Trey Lance makes it back. That would be amazing. But I also like Javonte Williams. The thing is here, the way this draft is going, I think Javonte Williams is going to make it back to me at the 4-1. But I have been targeting him. One of the benefits of having him is that he is only 21. So he's got an edge over all the other 22s that we're looking at here, like DeAndre Swift and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and J.K. Dobbins been a favorite of mine, but of course, and I have him on a number of teams, but one of the things I'm going to try to do here is take advantage of the injuries to the potentially elite running backs like Dobbins and Etienne and Cam Akers, and try to take them late. Hopefully somewhere 6, 7, and maybe even Akers 8 in the 8th round. But we'll see. So a better focus here. I've got Trey Lance still on the board. This is really crazy because Trey Lance. I took Trey Lance in a startup draft.
Now you are on the clock.
Ho. Well, that's not good news to me that AZ Hawks, the other team whose first I have, took Travis Kelce. So he's going win now, clearly. Just a quick look at, I can't see. He's got Kyle. Oh, that's right. He had the Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson start. But this is a no-brainer for me unless I've got the format wrong. Anyway, I've got 30 seconds. Again, I've just got to. I got to just take Trey Lance here. But I was saying, I've drafted Trey Lance as high as the 10th overall pick in a Superflex league. Now that was best ball, and I think that kind of changes things too. When you do best ball, you can take all these young quarterbacks and in any given, let's say it's year 2 when you're trying to win, in any given week one could go off, but you're not required to start one in a particular slot where you want to have some more certainty as to how they're going to score. So perhaps they're more attractive in a best ball format, and that's why he dropped, or he's dropping here because this is a live draft. Maybe because of the issues he's had in preseason could be the issue. It's hard to say, but that is a huge drop, and getting Joe Burrow and then Trey Lance at the end of the second and then the mid third is extreme value. So I've got a really good start here. Now normally 401 is where I would target either Javonte Williams or Zach Wilson in other drafts. We already know that Zach Wilson is gone. Who else would I take here? We've got normally J.K. Dobbins, but he's injured. Travis Etienne, same thing. What happened to Clyde Edwards-Helaire? What happened to Clyde Edwards-Helaire? What? Okay. There he is. He is at the I didn't scroll. He is at the top of the list here. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we got to put him on there. I'm going to take Javonte ahead of him, even though I suppose in theory Javonte could drop all the way to the 4-8. But I don't think I'm going to take that chance. But who knows? Both may be taken before I even get there. But let's see how this goes. We got Stephon Diggs. Okay, that's good for me. I was planning on having some wide receivers here because I want to take advantage of...
You are up next.
Oh, boy. Matthew Stafford. Whoa, another win now. I want to take advantage of those injured running backs, which means I'll have running backs later in the draft. So I wanted to go wide receiver here. I was not expecting to go to QB like I did because normally
now you are on the
quarterbacks,
clock.
the ones that I want, dry up before I get to the 2-8. But in this case, all the way to the 3-5, I get a quarterback that I like at the 10 overall, or even earlier, actually. Whoa, okay. So let's get back to my train of thought here. I'm thinking Javonte Williams. Jamar Chase is really good too, but he may drop. I think I have a good chance of getting him at the 408 given his trouble this preseason. Clyde Edwards-Helaire would be a good choice here, but I can only get maximum 2 of these 3 players, and I guess if I had the choice, it'd be Javonte and Jamar. So now CeeDee Lamb was already taken, right? Okay. I don't want to miss out on some. You know what? I'm not gonna. Even if I drafted
15 seconds
Javonte
left.
over someone else that I missed, I'm not gonna worry about. I'm going to be happy with Javonte regardless. So here we go. All right, I need to focus just a little bit more here. Mac Jones in the 5th round. I want Jalen Hurts if he makes it, maybe even in the 408. So that's a potential quarterback that I missed at the 4-1. But you know what? I was thinking of taking Javonte as early as the 2-8 or the 3-5. And that's well before I would have considered taking Jalen Hurts anyway. So I think I made the right choice. I already have 2 quarterbacks anyway. So it's working out okay here. Still got Jamar Chase on the board. What happened to Clyde Edwards-Helaire? He was taken by outfishing at the 4-3. It's coming up to my turn again soon here. Let's focus.
Now you are on the clock.
I almost clicked that X button, which would have taken me out of the live draft room. That would have been a disaster. Oh my goodness, I hadn't even thought of that. That could happen. On my pick, I could have taken myself out of the draft room, and it takes some time to get back in the FFPC, so that would have been a disaster. All right, I'm not going to go Mac Jones. It looks like Jamar Chase at the 408. I was thinking tight end, but what tight end could there be here? It would be TJ Hawkinson, but he's obviously older than I'd like for this draft. But then again, I did already blow it with Joe Burrow. Whew. Jamar Chase or Jalen Hurts.
15 seconds left.
What is it going to be? I have 13 seconds. 12. Come on. Jalen Hurts. Wow, that would be a good value right here. But you know, I'm going to go Jamar Chase. That was my first tough call there. So I've got really good start. I mean, this is the kind of start that I'd like from, let's say, and I'd feel fortunate if I were in the 10 hole and I had this start. Let's say I'd pick Joe Burrow first or Trey Lance first, and I'd come back around and get the other. And then Javonte Williams in the would it be late 3rd, I guess, if I got lucky. And then early 4th, Jamar Chase. This would be an excellent start there. And I've done this. I haven't done this. I was fortunate enough that I was able to trade for those 2 first-round picks and still get the 4 players that I would have liked to have drafted in an ideal scenario. So this is looking like an ideal scenario, except I have 2 first-round picks on top of that. So this is really good. Oh, T. Higgins. Okay, I hadn't queued him up, but he was one of my considerations here in the 5th round. Well, I'm wondering if Mac Jones could slip even further, but tough call. I don't have Jalen Hurts in a lot of leagues because he's usually picked earlier than this. But Jalen Hurts would be a pretty good value at 5.5, and maybe Mac Jones falls further. That's tough. Okay. This is also where I was going to think about taking J.K. Dobbins, but if Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts, I can't pick J.K. Dobbins ahead of him. Now, I'd rank J.K. Dobbins ahead of those other two running backs that I injured because I guess I feel more comfortable with the ACL over the Liz Frank and the Achilles. In a normal, if I weren't going all 22, I'd be really looking at DJ Moore here too, so I'll just put him on there just to think about. Jerry Judy would be a good pick here, but it's way early just based on his overall ADP as far as I've been able to tell. I usually get him late, sometimes even in the 7th round in these drafts, and something tells me he's going to be available in the 7th round again here. What am I forgetting here? Tight end, TJ Hawkinson still on the board. I have to consider him. I've already blown the all 22 with Joe Burrow. TJ Hawkinson will help me win the consolation round, I think. So that is a real tough choice here. I already got 2 stud quarterbacks. Whew. This
you
is
are
one
up next.
I have potential of regretting if I make the wrong pick here. Because if I pick Mac Jones and it turns out as a 3rd quarterback, and it turns out I would have won the consolation round with TJ Hawkinson, that would be, or DJ Moore, that would be a big bummer. Then again, if I take Jalen Hurts and he lights it up in the consolation round, I mean, that may be the right pick. Boy, I wish I had more picks in this range. I had no idea that I'd have Jalen Hurts and Mac Jones at the 505.
Now you are on the clock.
I guess I should have had an idea because Mac Jones has gone later than this even. I just assumed, having won the job in New England, that his draft position would move up. Anyway, I've got to think. This is a tough call. I'm hoping I'm not missing somebody. I don't think I am. I don't remember. So I've got Javonte. So I do have a running back. Hopefully get 2 injured running backs on top of that. That would be solid. But this is a tough one. Because if not TJ Hawkinson, then we're looking like an Irv Smith or Cole Kmet based on how I draft. And that's not necessarily going to help me in the consolation round. But grabbing my 3rd quarterback would be awesome here. Jalen Hurts especially. I got to risk Mac Jones.
15 seconds left.
Making it all the way back. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go TJ Hawkinson right here. Woo. So forget about the all-22 for this draft. This is an unusual draft because I've been really good about sticking with the all-22 even when there is, let's say, a TJ Hawkinson staring me in the face. I've stayed with the all-22. And the reason I've done that is, and maybe I'm overreacting, but certainly last year is when I started developing this strategy, I had a few instances where I did take the undervalued vet over a rising rookie. I think it was the end of the 4th round where I took, in a Superflex league, where I took Amari Cooper. There he goes, Amari Cooper, over whom I thought was seriously undervalued at that position last year. I took him over CeeDee Lamb, whose ADP was a little later than 412, but I really should have taken CeeDee Lamb there, and I regretted it the whole year. The CeeDee Lamb owner would not trade me CeeDee Lamb straight up for Amari Cooper. Wouldn't even, didn't look like he would entertain even if I had upgraded it some more. And I went into that Amari Cooper pick thinking that I could trade him straight up for, or maybe get a little extra for CeeDee Lamb early in the year, but that was not to be. Anyway, so we're back here. We've got Josh Jacobs. This is a pick that I'm looking forward to, airing it out. Again, I have his 1st round pick, and I'm hoping he goes young again here. Maybe. Oh, what happened to Jalen Hurts? Oh, Jalen Hurts went to out fishing. Okay. Still got Mac Jones on the board. It's really good. I don't know how I feel about that TJ Hawkinson pick at this point. maybe it would have been excessive to go Jalen Hurts here, then Mac Jones at 608, then have some weaker tight end. Here we go. Jerry Judy, all right. Well, that's a good pick. Definitely on my radar. I really like rostering Jerry Judy, but I'm perfectly fine again because it is on airing it out. Airing it out is really going full-on Dynasty, which is unusual. I mean, that is the ideal pick. If you knew somebody had a tendency of going full-on Dynasty and youth movement, then you do whatever you can to get their first-round pick. That's the kind of thing you look for. You look for tendencies.
You are up next.
But in this particular league, I don't know any of the owners. I don't recognize any of the names. And it might be because it's a lower stakes league and it's a live draft. Oh, there you go. That's a bummer. Mac Jones. So I have nobody in my queue. So I better focus here. Oh, this is where it would make sense now that I don't have.
Now you are on the
But
clock.
Miles Sanders is still on the board. Again, really good for consolation, but if I don't watch it, I'm actually going to make the playoffs, and that's not my ideal. I don't mind losing in the year one, but this is not the kind of league where you tank and because you've got to win that consolation to get a good pick. So I'm really looking seriously here at J.K. Dobbins. I think in a year from now, J.K. Dobbins will be worth more than Miles Sanders. So while Miles Sanders helps me now, I don't think I can take him here. But let's make sure I am not missing some really good. Okay, we got Jalen Waddle still on the board. Good value at 608. Would I rather have Jalen Waddle than J.K.
15
Dobbins?
seconds left.
In some leagues, yeah. But maybe he makes it to me in the next pick. I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins. Okay. So I've got 2 stud quarterbacks. I've got 2 stud running backs for next year. One that could be okay for the consolation round, but I'm going to probably end up leaving that deficiency on the team, leaving this draft, and work the waiver wire and hope I win some critical bids during the year to pick up a running back or 2 that can help me in that consolation round. All right, so Travis Etienne is a definite possibility here, but I don't think I would take Travis Etienne over Jalen Waddle. I guess Devonta Smith is already gone. Let's put Elijah Moore on the board here. Not Rashad Bateman just yet. Let's go Rondé Moore. Let's put him on. Terrace Marshall and then Rashad Bateman. I think Rashad Bateman's going to drop just because of his injury, even though it makes little difference to me that he's going to miss games this season. Other than that, it might hamper his development for year 2. But really, I'm just going to pass on him because I can get him hopefully later in the draft. All right, I'm going to just put Michael Carter on here. What happened to Trey Sermon? I guess he's been taken at this point. Come on, Trey. Where are you? There he is, 502. Jalen Waddle. Okay, he's gone. So it's now looking more and more like a Travis Etienne. I think I like Travis Etienne's injury better than Cam Akers, and I've liked Travis Etienne anyway better than Cam Akers, although I know consensus is that Cam Akers is or was better than Travis Etienne. We still have Miles Sanders on the board, but the thing about taking a Miles Sanders here is as long as he's doing okay, I could end up being able to trade him for something really good later. Certainly more trade value than I get for Travis Etienne. In fact, I could probably trade Miles Sanders for Travis Etienne. Sounds familiar. Sounds like that Amari Cooper thing last year.
You are
said
up
the
next.
exact same thing. AZ Hawks. Looking forward to who he picks. Again, he's not looking like a pick that I can really hope to turn into a high pick next year. He's probably going to be at the back end of the first round, but airing it out at least is giving me some hope.
Now you are on the clock.
Robert Woods. Okay, that's going to help him. Miles Sanders. Something going on with Miles Sanders that I'm missing. Maybe there's I'm going to just quick Roto World here. Is there some new, Miles Sanders news? We have 40 seconds. Why is he dropping this far? I think it's just the nature of this draft. But okay. Well, I don't know if I can pass on Miles Sanders. But Travis Etienne, you know what? Let's not go crazy. Shoot. Miles Sanders could help me in the consolation round. And I do need some help at running back. I'm going to go Miles Sanders. I think Travis Etienne could last, but then I'm going to lose Elijah Moore. Here we go. Talking really fast. Got to talk and think fast here. So this team doesn't look anything like it looks somewhat like my other teams, but it's got players like Joe Burrow now and Miles Sanders and TJ Hawkinson. If somehow this team could sneak into the playoffs this year, other than the J.K. Dobbins pick, this team could do damage in the playoffs this year. I just don't think this team will sneak into the playoffs this year with this kind of with Trey Lance and certainly with J.K. Dobbins. Javonte Williams is going to have a slow start, most likely, because of his timeshare. Airing it out is coming up. And I always enjoy watching those teams where I have their first round pick. All right. I don't know how helpful it is to look at this board in draft. Again, considering that it's going the right way right now. But Mactastic. Mactastic. Let's see what he's been doing here. I haven't been paying attention. Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, Travis Etienne. Maybe he'll trade me Travis Etienne for Miles Sanders. Looks like it. Dalvin Cook. Christian McCaffrey. Oh, this is a win now team that just took Travis Etienne. That is really bizarre. I don't think that's a good pick for him. Because with Christian McCaffrey, you really got to go win now because he's getting up there at least. All right, here we go. Airing it out. Now, airing it out, I would have loved if he had taken Travis Etienne. And I'd really like it if he takes Cam Akers here, even though I don't get him. Because I'd probably want Elijah Moore anyway over most of these, over Cam Akers. Let's look at him real quick. Airing it out. He's got a real, these are real dynasty type players, but all of them could hit and do well in year one or year two for Gibson. And then Edmonds is a good pick. So there's some chance he makes the playoffs, but if he doesn't make the playoffs, this team looks good enough to me to do some damage in the consolation round. So it's very good potential for a high pick next year. Whoa, what happened? Cam Akers is gone. Oh, Outfishing. Outfishing is a dangerous team here because he seems to be going young, if I'm remembering correctly here. Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts.
You are up next.
That looks a lot like my team without the first round picks. Anyway, let's focus on my team. So that's unfortunate that Outfishing is drafting so young because
now you are on the clock.
He's not going to make the playoffs, and that potentially could lead to Aaron and Out making the playoffs. Okay, I don't think there's much to think about here, unless I'm missing some crazy quarterback or something. Deshaun Watson's still on the board. That is super late. So it's Elijah Moore or
15 seconds left.
15 seconds. All right, I got to take Elijah right now. Okay, I feel somewhat good about that. Normally I'd feel great about that. But this draft has been going so well, at least the players I like have been dropping so far that I'm disappointed that someone didn't drop to me that shouldn't be there. Elijah Moore should be an 8-8 pick. So I've got Elijah Moore and Jamar Chase as my wide receivers. Hopefully they come around by mid-year and by playoff time. Darrell Henderson, that's definitely a win now type player. And of course they go to AZ Hawks. So I've given up on AZ Hawks. They're going to be a good team. Deshaun Watson, there you go. So I've got Rondale Moore here targeted. That's really good. I was hoping for 2 injured running backs. Instead, I got the 1, and then Miles Sanders at the 7.5. I guess I got to be happy about that. That was really late. Okay. Juju is really good value here, and to keep the consistent with the overall theme of not going all 22 or partial all 22, he'd be a pretty good pick here. I've been seeing him drop league after league, and I've just been watching it since I've only been going 22 and under. Juju's, 24, I think, now. So a bit old, but could present some value and maybe in a trade. But would I really pick Juju over Rondale Moore? Probably not. I've taken Rondale Moore well ahead of Juju in other leagues, or I've passed on Juju multiple rounds after Rondale Moore. So I think I've got to do it here too. But you know what happened to Michael Carter? Did he just go to? Yep.
You are up next.
Okay. Michael Pittman. Haven't really been interested in him, but that's probably because he's 23. All right, Rondale Moore and Terrace Marshall still on the board. If I get one of those, if I get Terrace back at the 10:08, that would just be really good. Michael Thomas is still on the board. Not that I've ever wanted to draft him, but I don't think I've seen him drop this far. He'd be a good consolation round receiver coming back mid-year.
Now you are on the clock.
All right, so I'm almost certainly going Rondale. Let's highlight him in case I accidentally pushed the wrong thing. Running back. A.J. Dillon's a good pick. Let's put him on there. I don't want to forget about him. I don't want to forget about him. Okay, I've got 44 seconds. Got to focus. Tight end. I'm going to get my tight end, so that's a good thing. Normally I'd be sweating it out on when I'm going to take Cole Kmet or Irv Smith before he turned 23. He turned 23 this summer, so and he got injured, so he could drop even farther. But he's definitely a target of mine. Not here, not in this league at least. Dallas is still on the board. That is a late for him.
15 seconds left.
I got to go Rondale. Let's stay true to this at least. It's been fairly crazy so far the way that this draft is shaken out. Got Joe Burrow, Trey Lance. That is just, it's hard to get over that. At the 208 and 305, I've got Joe Burrow and Trey Lance. This is not the typical FFPC draft. But again, maybe because it's a live draft. We've got a different group of owners that have a different mindset in what they want to do this year. So it's really helped me. Let's just take a quick look at that F-Bombs team. Is that the right team? No. Is it? No, they look like they're going. I mean, they've got a pretty good dynasty-looking team there. What was that? The Outfishing. Yeah, so there goes Rashad. I got to look at Team Washington, too. They're starting to go young. Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers, Clyde. Wow, that looks like a really good team. Chase Claypool. So I've got some competition next year. Some of these teams are looking pretty good. Okay, let's look at that Washington fantasy team. I think that's the one that didn't know which way they wanted to go. Nope, that's not the team. So this is a Dak Prescott, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. Good set of quarterbacks there. James Robinson, DeAndre Swift. Pretty good looking team. I mean, that's a good dynasty team. See, so if you're doing what I'm doing, you don't want to see a bunch of dynasty looking teams, especially if I have some first rounders for next year, because I want to see teams finish ahead of those teams that I have. So that one team, airing it out, hopefully can make it into the consolation round. But AZ Hawks, since he's one of the few teams here that seems to be going all win now, they're going to make it for sure. So that's unfortunate. So when you have more teams or fewer teams going all young or dynasty, you have a better chance for an AZ Hawks to get knocked out of the playoffs and into the consolation round. But that's not going to happen here. Given that, just flipping through some of these teams, it's clear that they're going dynasty, which is weird that I could then somehow end up with a team I have, given that there's these other teams out there that are doing something similar. But Joe Burrow, Trey Lance, that is just crazy. All right. I'm the 8th pick. We got Terrace Marshall, Juju are the only players I have queued up. You got to queue up Dallas. That's Tyler Higbee. Wow. Julio Jones still on the board. Obviously not a consideration for me, but Julio, I have 4 main FFPC leagues, a 1250, a 2500, a 750, and another 750, and Julio Jones is on all of them. Because those are my long-standing leagues. And I took him at the startup, and I've had him ever since, and I'm going to keep him until he retires. So he's been my favorite player, I guess, over the years. All right, we got a couple more picks. So we lost Juju.
You are up
to
next.
Outfishing. And now I just lost Terrace Marshall. That is a bummer. Who did that? Washington Fantasy Team. So Washington Fantasy Team has changed gears. He is now going
Now
Dynasty.
You are on the clock.
And I lost my tight end. Okay, I have nobody queued up. What a bummer. I've got nobody. So here's where I normally like to trade this for a pick. I gotta hurry up. I've got my go-to here. Where is he? Jordan Love's taken too? Kidding me? He's gone. Okay, get out of here. I'm gonna time out here. Why am I not prepared? Let's go, rookie. Rookie, come on. What happened here? We're in the 10th round, and I've got nobody queued up. That is crazy. So let's put him on there. Put Cole Kmet. That's in my normal pick. I'm going to go Cole. Come on.
15 seconds left.
Cole. Let's go Cole. That's weird. Okay, so things are turned around here. And I guess that's not unexpected, given that I've been seeing a number of these teams going full-on dynasty. So players on my queue are naturally going to get depleted. But that was close to timing out, given that all my players in my queue were taken. Even Jordan Love, what's going on? Where is Jordan Love taken? 9-11 by Wildfires, just out of nowhere. Wildfires. Tom Brady, Jordan Love, what a combo. Matthew Stafford, Kareem Hunt, Gus Edwards, Josh Jacobs, DK Metcalf. That's a weird pick then, to take Jordan Love there. Usually I get Jordan Love in the 10th round, but not here. But I'm definitely not going to complain, because all I have to do is just keep looking at that Joe Burrow, Trey Lance at the top of my board there. Javonte Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders just sticks out like a sore thumb there. Probably shouldn't be on this team. But Jamar Chase, Rondale Moore, Elijah Moore, T.J. Hawkinson. I'm okay with T.J. being on the team because I do need a tight end. And then Cole Kmet. What happened to Irv Smith? Whoa. Okay, I got to be ready here. He's taken now. I've got really no one really that I love here. Adam Trotman, he's too old. 23, I believe. You know what? I'm going to put him here because I'm lacking players in the All-22. People are just snapping him up here. Julio and Odell. Henry Ruggs is 22. Jalen Reagor, he's 22. It's coming up fast. Why would Julio not be taken at this point? I'm really tempted on taking Julio. Oh, did he just get taken? Ah.
You are up next.
Oh well, he got taken. So Jasecki, you got Pat Freiermuth, looks like the top of my board here. I think I forgot to mention FFPC is a tight end premium league, so it's 1.5 PPR for tight ends, 1 PPR for everyone else. So it is helpful to have good stable of tight ends. So I think I'm going to go Pat Freiermuth over Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs or Jalen Reagor. I think most people would take Adam Trotman. You know what? I'm probably going to take Adam Trotman. What?
Now you are on the clock.
I don't really have him. I have him on other teams from last year. And there goes Henry Ruggs. Okay. Went to a team whose first I have. That's good. I think I'm going to go Adam Trotman here. I gotta think. QBs. My normal go-to here would be Jordan Love, but he is gone. There's no one else really. Gotta go Adam Trotman. Yeah, I really would have considered taking Julio here, because that could have really helped me in the consolation run. But I'm gonna go Adam Trotman. And we're going to wrap this up here. It's not very interesting looking at the players that are left here. But overall, really good draft, I think. We've got Burrow and Lance again. Javonte Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Miles Sanders, really good. Jamar Chase, Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore, Jalen Reagor, De'Ami Brown, above average at least. And then we've got Hawkinson, slightly above average at tight end. So got stellar QBs, stellar running backs for next year, I think. Would have been nice to have another injured running back like Travis Etienne, but I've got to be happy with how this ended up.